Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to Circling Seattle Sports on Converge Media. Your host, as always, Bel Garcia and Charles
Mhm.
Hammaker. Uh, Interesting sort of week again. I mean, it's never not an interesting week as we join you here on Memorial Day of 2022. But it's always unique to get into the teams and see their different stories as we continue on. So, with that being said, Bel, I mean, not too much. Heading over in the Seahawks section as we kind of get through OTAs and all that, but
Yeah.
some at least notable, right?
Nothing super huge for team notes here. On the 23rd, Russell Wilson did speak up about the matchup against the Seahawks, saying that he wants it to be a non-emotional week one against Seattle. He said it's just ball. There's been amazing times. So not to like shortchange his time here, but
Do you have any? I think that's a load of BS. I mean, there's no emotion. I mean, do you think he's gonna just tune that out? I mean, obviously, there's a lot of history there. There's a title in there in his career in Seattle. Was drafted, and his whole story wasn't supposed to be a starter ever. Matt Flynn was going to be the guy.
mhm.
Do you buy any of that?
No, I don't.
I don't
I
either.
don't know. But I think we've talked about it before and just how like the fans will receive him. And I think that will definitely play into how non-emotional the matchup is. So
Yeah, I'm interested because I know there is. I think it's pretty split with how people will react to that. With it's Russell Wilson. He's gave so much to the city, which I get both sides. But also, we knew that this was brewing for years, and I tried to put it off, and I tried to give hope that it wasn't,
mhm.
which I was wrong about. I'll openly admit that. But I don't know. I don't really buy that whole non-emotional stuff. I think that's
I think
not
that's
real.
him downplaying how everything went down.
Yeah, yeah.
Calling you out, Russell.
All right.
On
Okay.
the 26th year for team notes, the team loses an executive. The Seahawks scouting executive Alonzo Highsmith is returning to his alma mater of Miami as its new general manager of football operations. Just a little bit on Highsmith's life here. He's a former fullback and former boxer. He served as the vice president of player personnel for the Cleveland Browns from 2018 to 2019. So best of luck in his future endeavors there. Moving on to some league news here. That's a lot going on in league news.
Yeah, things picked up around the league, but not necessarily with us.
Yeah, for sure. So on the 23rd, kind of a busy day. Arizona is now going to be featured on Hard Knocks. Not sure if you guys are updated on the show currently. I think Dallas is in the season, right?
I think that with the preseason Cardinals, I know that for in season it was the Colts last year, and they
Was it?
had this
Okay.
really nice. They were getting ready for the playoffs, and then obviously they lost to the Jaguars in week 18, and
Okay.
people were really excited to see how that played out
Yeah.
on the show itself because there must have been some. I didn't watch it, but it'll be interesting to note that a lot of the Hard Knocks teams, knock on wood, don't reach the Super Bowl. So
Oof.
maybe that's a good thing for us, but I don't know. I don't
Okay.
really care for Hard Knocks that
Yeah.
much.
The last one I remember, and I might be behind, but I do remember watching the Dallas Cowboys and them going through the Dak Prescott injury. So that was the
Oh,
last thing I remember. Anywho, Cardinals are next up. The Commanders might be moving to Virginia. So the Washington football team has reportedly purchased 200 acres of land for a new stadium, but it's even further away from DC than FedEx Field is. Not very encouraging to the fans. So
no.
we'll see how they feel about that there, if that's actually news or just a rumor. Moving on here, the 49ers are open to trading Jimmy Garoppolo. I think that's been kind of known since the offseason, maybe even the season. But the team and QB are open to a trade that is flexible to find the best situation. So we'll keep you updated on if Jimmy Garoppolo moves or where he ends up. And then more 49ers news here. Deebo Samuel has chosen to skip the 49ers OTAs. Now, some players, such as Aaron Rodgers, choose to do it because of course, their tenure with the team and they don't feel like it's completely necessary with them. There's a little bit of drama going on with the Deebo Samuel situation. How do you see this playing out?
I think he stays with the team. I don't
Yeah.
think with the quality of a player that he is and what he brings to the table. I think John Lynch talked about it a few weeks ago. They would be pretty insane to move him. But at the end of the day, if he does not want to be in a 49ers uniform, he won't be in a 49ers uniform.
Right.
That's how it is. OTAs is one thing. Once we get into actual training camp in August, and we see that ramp up, then I would show some concern. But right now, I've seen crazier situations where this angles into a new deal. Ken
Yeah.
Chancellor was holding out around this time, training camp, for a new deal, and he got a new deal. So could this be a new deal? Yes. If this continues into training camp and more details unfold, then I will be like, oh, maybe we'll get Devo out of the division. But
As a fan, would you be so like open-armed in having him back, with him saying that he doesn't want to be in a 49ers uniform?
it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Because if it's like if it's I just hate San Francisco, they play in Santa Clara. That I will die on that hill. I will die on that hill. But if it's just, the front office is treating me wrong, then it's like, it's not on you. But if it's it depends on the circumstances, is my point on that.
Yeah.
So cautiously, I would say yes, I would, but it depends on the circumstances.
Okay, moving on here. That wraps up the 23rd, and we'll move on to the next day here. More notes for the 24th. The NFL Combine is staying in Indianapolis. In 2023 and 2024, scouting combines will officially be held in Indianapolis following relocation rumors. So no need to pay attention to those rumors anymore. It's been confirmed. The NFL has also expanded the Rooney Rule. Teams looking to hire a QB coach will now have to interview a candidate from an underrepresented group. And I just have to say in regards to that it's about time. And I can't believe that wasn't instituted previously. So moving on here, the NFL's getting rid of the Pro Bowl. The league is reportedly discussing ways to improve Pro Bowl week, including the possibility of eliminating the game altogether. And I can say personally for myself that I don't watch the Pro Bowl.
I don't think a lot of people watch the Pro Bowl. I mean, it's just been something that, different leagues around the country have worked on their all-star games. The NBA, I know there's some weird point requirement that they have to hit.
Yeah.
And there's the way that the teams are drafted. I know a few years ago, the NFL did it. It was like Team Dion versus Team Chris Carter, where they were drafted, I believe. It's tough when there's nothing at stake and players are more worried about not getting injured. There has to be something that they want to play for. If you're there and it's just a participation thing, it's like, okay, you get the clips of the Pro Bowl where guys are like hugging and it's a tackle, so hey, there are people in this position that get paid the big bucks to figure this out. So do I see the Pro Bowl getting removed?
Probably not.
No, I figured they were going to try some stopgap situation and maybe it works, but Pro Bowl, I have not sat down and watched a Pro Bowl in years.
Yeah, I haven't ever. Moving on here to some more Deshaun Watson news. So the NFL commissioner, Roger Goodell, states that the league is nearing the end of its investigation into sexual misconduct allegations against the Browns quarterback. So, of course, we'll make sure to keep you updated on what that means for him and whether that means he starts the season or if things get delayed a little bit. That wraps up the 24th. We'll move on to the 25th here. Colin Kaepernick finally landed an NFL workout after 5 years out of the league. So he did work out with the Las Vegas Raiders last Wednesday, May 25th. And it's reported that he's in great shape and the workout went well. But it's been radio silence since then, right?
Yeah. I don't know what that was about. If he sat there and performed well, you've got Derek Carr. So he's not sitting there and performing for a starter role. But it's always good to have depth. I'm just interested to see, if you're going to be radio silent, like you said, was it just to work him out, see what he's got, kick the tires, help him, sort of showcase himself to the rest of the league. And part of the reason that I was interested in this headline was it throws out any narrative that it's just a publicity thing. He doesn't want to actually play. He worked out. He was reported in great shape. The workout went well. He wants to play. At the end of the day, I didn't like him for the longest time because he was a 49ers quarterback. So it's like, I don't care if he's doing well, someone has to sign him because there are quarterbacks on other rosters that are not as good as him. And I'm not saying he's great, but he's better than some of the options that are on actual rosters and actual contracts right now.
And he's been open to a backup role, and I think he would make a great backup. So moving on here, the NFL is launching its own streaming service. The league will reportedly launch its own service in July and will feature live games. So does that mean that they're going to be competition for like Sunday Ticket, or how does that work?
I think so. I'm not sure. I just the only way I feel about this is I'm tired of streaming services. There's just
too many of them.
we're gonna get an MLB one, and we've already got like Sunday Ticket, right? I mean, what NFL Game Pass?
Right.
So I don't know. Too much to deal with.
Moving on here, the league is facing a tough legal battle against John Gruden. The NFL went 0-2 in court against Gruden on Wednesday as a judge tossed out a pair of motions that were filed by the league. And then a day that was a little bit quieter on the 29th, Aaron Donald signs with Kanye's agency. NFL superstar announces that he has signed with Wes Donda Sports on the I Am Athlete podcast. He was asked if a signature cleat collection would be coming with that partnership and didn't really give any specifics. Kind of was open to the idea, but anywho, we don't know what that partnership will bring, so we'll make sure to keep you guys posted here. And then, of course, looking ahead, late July NFL training camp, and that about wraps up our